There are legitimate questions to be asked about the enrollment figures of the Affordable Care Act, and Republicans could do that, or they could talk about Nazis.
A North Carolina lawmaker comparing Obamacare to the Nazis in a tweet.
Now they're going with Nazis.
A Republican state senator from North Carolina tweeted this gem, quote, Justice Roberts' pen and Obamacare has done more damage to the USA than the swords of the Nazis, the Soviets, and terrorists combined.
Obamacare plus success equals a right-wing freakout.
And there's more coming here.
If we have a system where the government is going to be the principal provider of health care for the country, we're done.
Here we go, Rick Santorum.
Once you have people getting free health care from the government, you can't take it away from them. And the reason is because most people don't get sick. And so free health care is just that, free health care until you get sick. And then if you get sick and you don't get health care, you die, and so you don't vote. It's actually a pretty clever system. Take care of the people who can vote. The people who can't vote, get rid of them as quickly as possible by not giving them care, so they can't vote against you. That's how it works.
Top that, Ted Cruz.
Joining me now, Ari Melber, co-host of MSNBC's The Cycle, and Jonathan Cohn, senior editor for The New Republic. Ari, can you translate what Rick Santorum just said? I tried to follow it. I was following it there for a while. Somewhere.
My short answer is no, I can't. I guess my longer answer is this is what you would get if you had the single-payer system, right? This idea that the government is in charge of everything, and in the conservative view, that's somehow bad. The problem, as we know, is we actually have this moderate compromise plan that the president reached, which layers in to the healthcare market. So about 48% of people get it from a private employer. About a third do get it from some sort of government program like Medicare. And then you have the individual marketplace. This president did exactly what conservatives had said they wanted, which is to work with the private sector system.
And so here we have this guy in North Carolina who says that Justice Roberts' pen, I like that he includes Justice Roberts in here, and Obamacare has done more to damage the USA than swords of the Nazis, Soviets, and terrorists combined. Now, Jonathan Cohn, the Nazis, they didn't use swords very much. But just in North Carolina, there were thousands, at least 3,000, maybe 4,000 killed, North Carolinians killed in World War II in the war against the Nazis. But to this guy, he finds no problem in completely dishonoring that sacrifice and saying what's happening in North Carolina now is worse, thanks to a Republican Supreme Court Chief Justice and President Obama.
Yeah, you know, it's sort of amazing. You know, we throw around the phrase a lot in politics. You know, this party has gone insane. These people have gone insane. And I think usually what we mean when we say that is they want, you know, absurd things. They're asking too much. They don't have a sense of political reality. We're getting to the point where we have a party that's actually losing its grip on reality. These claims are just fantastical and absurd and disrespectful, as you say. And the thing is, you know, look, you can always find somebody saying something crazy in politics if you go to the extreme wing. But what's amazing about this is it's really not that far removed from what we hear from all over the Republican Party. I mean, we are seeing in Georgia, in Michigan, some candidate has the temerity to say that, yes, I don't like Obamacare, I hate Obamacare, but since it's the law of the land, maybe we should at least try to fix some parts of it. And if you just say that, you get shouted down by the right wing. You can't even make that claim. You know, again, I think we have a party that has just lost grip of reality.
Well, the good news is the head of the Republican Party in North Carolina tried to cool things off about that tweet. He said that the guy who did that tweet, the state senator, should apologize. And he then also said this. I still fully believe, this is the guy who wants the tweeter to apologize. I still believe fully that the negative impact on the finances of North Carolina and its people is going to be significantly impacted, even in comparison to any of those wars that occurred. People need to open their eyes. Ari, the guy says you should apologize for saying that thing. Now I'm going to say that thing in a stupider way than you did.
I mean, he's sort of like the debate club buddy that's like, hey, no, swap me in, and I'm going to come in and rescue your analogy, and he thinks he's got a smart way to do it, the economic scale. It is insulting, and it also goes to, I believe, Lawrence, and I know not everyone will agree with me, but I believe there is actually an increasing panic as we get to December 23rd, which is one deadline for enrollment, and as we get to the individual mandate kicking in next year in January. Because the bottom line is, this is the law, and it is working, and it will become harder for the more responsible wing and the members of Congress to continue to flout the law, although you were just showing in your last segment how there are some folks out there willing to do that. But they have an obligation to do that, and the numbers tell the story themselves. October was troubling, and there were website problems, and that's reality. But November, the trend line was way up, and if you count the public and the private programs, the federal, state exchanges, and Medicaid, we're up over 1.2 million more people who've been covered through this law. That is a good thing for those people, and it's a good thing for the insurance marketplace, and the president should be proud of that, and I think that number scares some of these Republicans.
We have a correction from the control room here on this whole tweet thing. It turns out that my notes are a little mixed up here, and that the guy who asked him to apologize did not then say this. That was our crazy guy's response to the demand that he apologize. He just kind of took it even further, which is, really, when they ask you to apologize, do not take it even further. Ari Melber and Jonathan Cohn, thank you both for joining me tonight.